Hello, this is Jeff Fleming, and welcome back to this episode of your Kingsport Blog Video Update. Some great news. Heritage Glass has made arrangements to reopen the AGC facility on Lincoln Street. This is a local entrepreneurial group who has experience in the glass business. They will be hiring more than 100 employees initially, with the opportunity to grow to more than 200 in very short order. The Kingsport Economic Development Board made an arrangement to purchase the property from AGC, and then we'll lease it back to these entrepreneurs. They will pay a lease amount that will include the taxes for the property. So it is a great setup and a cooperative partnership between the City of Kingsport, the Kingsport Economic Development Board, and these entrepreneurs who are working hard to bring jobs back to our city. I also want to definitely acknowledge the contribution of the State of Tennessee Economic Development Department when it comes to the training dollars that are provided, and also Networks Sullivan Partnership. Everything we do in economic development, we partner with Sullivan County, Kingsport, Bristol, and Bluff City, and so we certainly appreciate that partnership as well. Also, CATS Transit System is hosting its Transit Appreciation Week next week, the first week of May, and I'm going to be riding CATS next week, so I would encourage you to consider joining me on the bus. As many of you know, my father recently passed away, and my mom, like many widows in Kingsport, needs transportation to doctor's appointments and so forth. She's going to be having an eye exam and having her eyes dilated, and needed transportation. I wasn't able to get off work at that particular time, so rather than reschedule the appointment, she called CATS and made arrangements for a custom pickup and drop-off, and that is available to residents of the city who are over 65 and who live within 1 mile of an existing transit route. So I would strongly encourage, if you know someone that's in that situation, they don't have to be trapped or isolated in their home. They can actually call CATS, make an arrangement to ride the bus, and they will pick you up, say 20 or 30 minutes before your appointment, and they'll drop you off after your appointment. They'll pick you up and take you home. So again, you don't have to ride the route. You can. It's a custom delivery back to your home. So strongly encourage you to consider that. Another service that we did for my mom that is available for everyone. We have backdoor garbage pickup. If you know a senior that's having trouble getting the garbage can down to the road, maybe they have a steep driveway like my parents do, that service is available for $22 a month, and they will come to your back door for you. So if you know somebody that needs that service, please feel free to contact our finance department. They arrange the service and they add the cost to your water bill. Kingsport Police Department recently took great accolades in the K9 unit. We're pleased to announce that K9 Roy and his handler Ken Jackson took top dog honors and across East Tennessee. So we're very proud of them for doing that. The entire group of K9 officers scored very high in that competition. Let's see here. Let's make sure we get this right. K9 Cinco and his handler Officer David Johnson finished third overall, and K9 Macho and his handler Officer Billy Boyd finished fourth overall. Officer Johnson and Cinco also finished first place in tracking event and scoring a stellar 169.5 out of 170 possible points. So the professionalism of our police department once again shines through, and just want to acknowledge that effort. A couple of new restaurants have been announced for the area. Cookout is going to tear down the old Sagebrush on Stone Drive. That's a pretty interesting story because we have not provided redevelopment incentives for some time, but the market is now strong enough to warrant the economic investment of buying a building, tearing it down, disposing of it in the landfill, and then building back on site. So that's a very good trend that continues. Also, Krispy Kreme is going to be building right in front of the AutoZone at the intersection of Brookside Drive and Stone Drive. They displaced the Beach Hut, which found a house nearby in the Grand Home Furnishings site. And then, we also previously saw Popeyes tear down and rebuild the old what originally was the Bank of Tennessee building on the corner of Brookside and Stone Drive. So we continue to see redevelopment happening in that part of Kingsport. To that end, Kingsport Bristol March sales tax collection led East Tennessee and was third in the state in terms of growth. So that's certainly a positive. That information comes from the MTSU Department of Business and Economic Research. So good news there. Also, we recently rezoned the property on Clinchfield and Sullivan Street to accommodate future apartments on Supermarket Row. The Economic Development Board has reached a contractual agreement with a developer out of Knoxville, Perry Management Group, who is looking to do in the range of 200 units in a couple of phases. So we continue to work with them on site design. We have pledged to meet with the neighborhood to show them what the design is going to look like and get their input. We're also working with them on the streetscape improvements surrounding the site. Also in that area, the Clinchfield Street is currently under construction with the reconfiguration of the Press Street, Clinchfield Street intersection. That was a contractual agreement with Food City to allow the placement of the carousel adjacent to the farmers market. We needed to buy a piece of land from Food City. In order to accommodate their needs, we needed to realign that intersection and signalize it so that they would be satisfied in that transaction. So we have done that, and at the same time, we are working on the road diet for Clinchfield Street. The stretch between Stone Drive and Sullivan Street, actually between Stone Drive and Reedy Creek, you see a large trench that's down the middle of the road. That's actually becoming a median, and so it'll be one lane in, one lane out. They'll have multiple lanes at key intersections to accommodate left turns or right turns, as the case may be, and it will by default add bike lanes as well. So in that particular area, there will be a physical median. In other areas, there'll be a two-way left turn lane to allow traffic that's wanting to turn toward the hospital, for example, to be separated from those that are wanting to go straight through. So we're anxious to see how that works. All the studies indicate that it'll be a great and more efficient traffic flow for that street, and so we're anxious to see how that pans out. That's your quick update, and as always, I encourage you to go to kingsportblogger.com. That's kingsportblogger.com if you'd like to have information in between. Thank you.